Sometimes, life changes in a single night. Just yesterday, Simi was carrying her newborn son in her arms. Today, she carried nothing but a small traveling bag and a heart too broken to understand what had become of her life. She had been abandoned by the man who promised never to leave her. She had no father, no mother, no family to run back to. She was an orphan long before she became a mother. Fear had whispered that leaving her baby at that gate was his only chance to survive. But as the bus disappeared into the distance, she realized something painful. She hadn't left her baby behind. She had left a part of herself there too. Hunger has a way of humbling even the strongest hearts.
Ma, please, I can do any work.
Any work?
Yes, ma.
Start with those plates.
Simi had never imagined she would one day beg a stranger for work. Not because she was lazy, but because life had taken everything from her before she even had the chance to begin. She wasn't asking for comfort. She wasn't asking for pity. She only wanted an opportunity to survive another day. As she stood before the restaurant owner, she silently prayed that this woman would see more than her worn clothes. She prayed she would see a young woman desperate for one more chance. Little did she know that this simple conversation would become the first step towards rebuilding a life she thought had ended forever. The work was harder than Simi had imagined. From sunrise until late evening, her hands rarely stopped moving. Dirty plates, heavy cooking pots, the water stunk the tiny cuts on her fingers, but the pain in her hands was nothing compared to the pain she carried inside. Every time she saw a mother feeding her child, her heart quietly broke all over again. She often found herself asking the same questions. Where are you now, my son? Did someone find you? Are you safe? Then another question would follow, one she could never answer. What became of the man who promised to marry me? Was he happy? Had he forgotten both of them? Did he even know he had a son? The restaurant was filled with voices, yet Simi had never felt so alone. Night became the hardest part of every day. The noise of the restaurant would disappear, the laughter would fade, and silence would return. It was in that silence that regret found her. The restaurant owner was a kind woman. She saw the pain Simi tried to hide. Without asking questions, she allowed her to sleep on the kitchen floor. It wasn't comfortable, but to Simi, kindness had become more valuable than comfort. As she lay on the cold floor, she held tightly to the tiny baby cap she could not bring herself to throw away. It was the only thing she had left of her son. Every night, she closed her eyes, hoping sleep would come quickly. But every night, Daniel's face found her first.
God, please send help to him.
Every mother dreams of holding her child close, but every night, Simi could only hold on to memories. Regret had become the pillow she rested on. Guilt had become the song that lured her to sleep.
My baby, please forgive me. I have failed.
What if I had waited a little longer? What if I had found another way? She replayed that heartbreaking morning over and over again. In the silence of that lonely kitchen, she made God one promise. If you keep my son alive, I'll spend the rest of my life becoming a woman he would never be ashamed to call his mother. She didn't know where Daniel was. She didn't know if she would ever see him again. But she refused to stop praying. Because sometimes, when all hope seems lost, prayer is the only thing a broken heart has left. Life has a way of taking almost everything from us, yet leaving us behind one small gift: the courage to begin again. Simi had always loved sewing. Long before life became complicated, she had learned the skill with dreams of owning a fashion house one day. Those dreams had been buried beneath heartbreak, but they were not dead. Every spare naira she earned from the restaurant went towards paying for an old sewing machine.
It isn't new, but it still works. That's enough for me.
Hope quietly returned. During her free hours, she hurried to her friend's house. There she sewed school uniforms, repaired torn dresses, and altered clothes for anyone willing to trust her work. Every stitch reminded her that although her past had wounded her, it did not have the power to decide her future.
God, please make a way for me.
Slowly, life began to answer Simi's determination. One satisfied customer became two. Two became 5. Before long, people were no longer coming because they felt sorry for her. They came because her work spoke for itself. Every dress she carefully stitched, every school uniform she neatly repaired, every smile she put on a customer's face reminded her that God had not forgotten her. She still worked long hours at the restaurant. She still slept on the cold kitchen floor. But something had changed. She no longer counted only her pain. She also counted her progress. At the end of every week, she opened the small envelope hidden inside her handbag. One by one, she counted the money she had saved. Then she smiled quietly to herself. For the first time in many years, she could see a future that wasn't built on regret, but on honest work, patience, and God's unfailing grace. After many years, Simi was able to get a shop. It wasn't the biggest shop on the street. It wasn't the newest. The paint had faded. The walls carried the marks of many years. Yet, to Simi, it looked more beautiful than any mansion. Every plate she had washed, every sleepless night, every dress she had sewn had brought her to this very moment. With trembling hands, she paid the rent. As the landlord handed her the key, she held it tightly, not because it opened a shop, but because it opened the door to hope. She painted the shop and made it beautiful. The front of the shop became her workplace.
These dresses are beautiful. Thank you.
The back became her home. Every morning, she folded her mattress before opening for business. Every evening after serving her last customer, she spread it out again. Life was still difficult, but this time, every sacrifice carried purpose. She was no longer running from life. She was rebuilding it, one stitch at a time. The pain had not disappeared. There were still nights when Daniel's memory brought tears to her eyes. There were still mornings when she wondered where he was and whether he was safe. But for the first time since leaving that little boy at the gate, regret was no longer the only thing living inside her heart. She didn't know what tomorrow would bring. She didn't know that God was already weaving together lives that seemed forever separated. All she knew was that she would keep working, keep praying, and keep believing. Sometimes, the smallest beginnings become the foundation of the greatest miracles. Like our video and subscribe to Bloom Hope Stories for the next episode. Thank you.